Più fece.
E lei si era metà.
Sì, guarda,
Go here.
Oh, we can hear you now, too.
You guys ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
Everyone on that end good to go? Yes, sir. Okay. Cool. You all ready? All right. See if they see us.
Yeah, she said
Okay,
yeah.
cool. All right. We'll rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All righty. Well, we will call the meeting to order here at 7 o'clock. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Von Crook,
Here.
Benedetti,
Here.
LaFever,
Here.
Pate. Here. Perugi,
Here.
Rezeppa,
Here.
Corms. Oh my goodness.
Quorum present.
Quorum president. Mayor Rezeppa, I'm so sorry.
Great. Oh, no problem at all. All right. Thank you very much. Next on the agenda, we have the minute approval from the December 9th, 2019 meeting.
I would so move.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any discussion? Seeing none, it is unanimously so ordered. Next on the agenda, so this is sort of a new order we're going in here. We have a public comment portion. This is for anyone in the public looking to speak solely to items on today's agenda. Rules remain the same. Anyone will have 5 minutes. State your name and address. Direct all questions through me. And this is exclusively for agenda items. Anyone looking to speak on non-agenda items could wait till the end. Seeing none. All right, moving along. Still waiting to use my handy timer here, so we have nothing here further. So next on the agenda is appointments. As I had discussed at the last meeting, unfortunately, Mr. Long has decided that retirement sounds much better than being here, which I definitely don't disagree at times. So we wanted to thank you for your service here, and we're actually, I'm looking for your approval here for an appointment for an interim city attorney. I will stress that again, that this does not mean our process is going to change in terms of the hiring process and going out to exhaust all options here. But on an interim basis, we are looking to appoint Alan Ackerman and Anthony Bologna from Ackerman and Danowski, who've currently been working with the city on the Riverside site and under the same terms of our agreement with Mr. Long.
So moved.
Support.
All right, we have a motion and support. Is there any further discussion? Councilman Perugi.
Yes, have you established what that process will be yet for the attorney selection?
Not an exact timeline or formal process per se. We are going to, frankly, I think one of the big things is we haven't done this in 36 years, and so for a lot of it is we don't necessarily know what's even out there, whether that be getting actual RFPs from different firms. We've had individuals and firms call our office here already that would like to be considered, so there will be an interview process and would, to the degree that it allows, like to involve counsel in that as well. So in terms of an exact timeline, do not have that, but I think that it's fair to say that that will be priority number one once we get this council appointment filled.
Thank you.
Yep. Councilwoman Pate?
Do we need to add a revolving timeline for the motion, like every 3 months we reapprove this interim basis so that we don't extend this for 2 years or 3, would that be wise, or do you see a need
So
for
I
that?
didn't put one on there solely for the sake of, I didn't want to be too short when we don't have someone hired yet. Mr. Long, I guess, do you have any opinion on whether that's something that we need to do, given that it's an interim appointment?
Yeah, it'd be prudent for you and for your interim council to have a resolution establishing their relationship with the city, simply for purposes of authority in court, that they have the right and to speak for the city in those instances.
I think that, that makes sense then. I think that if we can include it as part of the motion, that ideally, knock on wood, it won't take this long, but it would say no longer than 6 months before we have to do a reappointment, if that's palatable to the maker of the
Yes.
motion and the rest of council as well.
Yes. Mhm. Yep.
Yeah.
Anything on that side? Councilperson LaFever.
What is the compensation for the attorney going to be?
It's the interim basis. It will still be the exact same as Mr. Long's salary. I believe, I don't remember the exact number. I want to say it was
That's fine.
169 something change. Was that?
Pretty close.
So, yeah. Okay.
Is it
Mrs.
just-
Salt, did you?
Just the monthly fee is on that check that I just sent over there somewhere.
Oh, okay. But it's going to be the exact same
I don't even know, is it a flat fee or per meeting, or how is that?
flat fee.
Flat fee, okay.
Yeah, and that's part of the thing that going forward, we aren't going to want to be in a situation where we're getting billed for phone calls and things like that too, that, we've got the agreement now where we pay that flat fee and don't have to pay.
Oh, he's under contract now with the city, isn't he?
Correct.
This will be in addition to that contract, or would they combined?
It would be an addition.
Point, Bill.
Anything else?
No, it's okay.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, it is unanimously so ordered. Thank you very much. Next on the agenda, I will defer to Mr. Church for the SEMCOG Designated Management Agency fee.
Thank you, Mayor. As you indicated, this request is for a renewal of the 2019-2020 Designated Management Agency fee through SEMCOG in the amount of $500. And I will note that this is a reduction from prior year's amount.
I would so move.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any discussion? Seeing none, it is unanimously so ordered.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next on the agenda with Ms. Gagne, Parks and Recreation.
Thank you, Mayor. We have been verbally notified by Commissioner Palomare's office that the City of Trenton will be receiving $55,000 grant from the Wayne County Park Millage to make improvements to Affolter Park, specifically the tennis and basketball courts. The proposed projects have been identified in our capital park improvement projects list. The $55,000 grant is a great start to completing these projects, but the projects are estimated at well over $100,000. And so in order to bridge this shortfall, I am requesting permission to apply to the Community Foundation of Southeast Michigan for Ralph Wilson Jr. Legacy Funds. As well, I'm also requesting permission to apply to the Michigan Department of Natural Resources Passport Grant. And if successful, the intent would be to leverage the Wayne County grant millage money to cover the $25 match that is required by the DNR. There is no match required by Ralph Wilson. And the deadline for application for Ralph Wilson is January 13th, April 1st for the DNR grant. And we are equipped and prepared to prepare these applications, submit them upon approval tonight. The grant award for the Wilson Foundation grant will be announced in June. The DNR passport grant, we have to wait until the fall to get notification on that. However, so the project would not, we would postpone the project until 2021. The Wayne County grant is a 2-year grant, so we have 2 years to complete the project. So it's within our timeline, and I do believe that is in the best interest to pursue these grants. And if successful, will provide us with a more appropriate and complete project for our community. So I'm asking for your permission to apply for these grants tonight.
So moved.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any further discussion? Councilwoman Von
Yeah,
Crooks?
just for clerical purposes, you said $25 match, it's 25%.
25%. I apologize.
No, I
Thank
just
you.
want to make sure it was clear to
Yes.
everybody.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank
good.
you.
Do you have anything else?
No, that's it, thank you.
Anything from here? All right. Seeing no further questions, it is unanimously so ordered.
Thank you.
I think you're up next here, too.
Next is the Trenton Summer Festival shuttle bus recommendation. Trinity Transportation has submitted the low quote and was awarded the contract to provide our shuttle bus service from last year's festival. We requested and received an updated quote from Trinity for the 2020 festival in the amount of $4,347, and their quote is attached for your review. The updated quote reflects a very nominal increase of $167.02 from last year's year's quote, which is still a significant savings of more than $2,470 from last year's second lowest quote. So we have used Trinity Transportation for the past several years, and they've been we've satisfied with their service. They are fully insured, and will also name the city as additional insured. And based on the favorable quote that we received, we are recommending to waive the quoting process and grant approval to Trinity Transportation to provide shuttle bus service for the 2020 festival in the amount of $4,347.02. And monies are secured through sponsorships and are available in the Summer Festival account.
So moved.
Support.
It's moved and supported. Any further discussion? Seeing none, it is unanimously so ordered.
Right, and, my last agenda item tonight is the Parks and Recreation Magazine printing recommendation. We are beginning the process of preparing our 2021 edition of the Buzz magazine. The printing of last year's publication was awarded to Dearborn Lithograph in the amount of $7,956.70. They have provided this service for the past 2 years, and we have been extremely satisfied with the quality of work and service provided by this company. And I have been in contact with the Dearborn Lithograph again this year, and they have agreed to maintain last year's printing costs. Therefore, I am recommending waiving the quote process and award the printing to Dearborn Lithograph in the amount of $7,956.70 in the best interest of the city. And the printing costs are covered through advertising sales.
So moved.
It's been moved and supported. Any further discussion? Seeing none, it is unanimously so ordered. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda with Mr. Church, liability and property insurance renewal.
Thank you once again, Mayor. As you indicated, this item is a request to renew the city's liability and property insurance for calendar year 2020 with Gladfelter Public Practice through our local agent at Daily Merit. There is a slight increase of approximately 2.2% over last year's premium. It's largely attributable to some updated vehicles that we have in our inventory, as well as some updated property values that they now have us insured with. Like to stress that we've had outstanding level of service and representation on some disputed claims, some of which are still being litigated. And for those reasons, we would like to recommend that we renew the term with Gladfelter Public Practice in the amount of $361,207.
So moved.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any further discussion? Seeing none, it is unanimously so ordered.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Church. Next, I will defer to our Mayor Pro Tem, Councilperson Benedetti, for our disbursements, statements, and reports.
Make a motion to approve disbursements for December 16th, 2019, in the amount of $435,746.64.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any further discussion? Seeing none, it is unanimously so ordered.
And I also have one, need a roll call vote for, to B&D Vacuum in the amount of $72.00.
Support.
Moved and supported. Any further discussion? Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Benedetti?
Yes.
LaFever?
Abstain. Almost got me mad.
Pate?
Yes.
Perugia?
Yes.
Rozeppa?
Yes.
Von Crooks?
Yes.
Motion carried. Mayor Rozeppa?
Thank you very much.
And I also make a motion to authorize ACH transactions dated November 2019 in the amount of $968,217.12.
Support.
Moved and supported. Any further discussion? Seeing none, it is unanimously so ordered.
Okay, and to receive and place on file the financial summary dated November 30th, 2019, schedule of investments and cash on hand November 30th, 2019, the Fire Department monthly report from November 2019, and the Police Department monthly report from 2019.
Support.
Has been moved and supported. Any further discussion? Seeing none, it is unanimously so ordered. Thank you very much, Councilman Benedetti. Now we are down to other council business here. Just had a couple items real quick that I wanted to run through. Wanted to let everyone know after speaking with our DPS superintendent today to remind everyone that next week and the following week between Christmas and New Year's, the trash pickup for those who get their trash picked up on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday will be delayed one day. Each of those weeks. Monday and Tuesday will be done just fine, but if you're on Wednesday, it'll be Thursday. If you're on Thursday, it'll be Friday. If you're on Friday, it'll be Saturday. So just make sure you've got your cart at the curb the right day. And they will also be, after Christmas that week, with all the wrapping paper and whatnot, we'll be allowing stuff, before I said that is correct, that for the yard waste, into the yard waste cans. I didn't want to say that and then have that be wrong and everyone wondering why there's a bunch of yard waste cans out there. So that, I know that I believe Councilwoman Pate had brought it up at the last meeting about the dock collapse in Detroit, and the obviously concern that there was some leakage into the water there. From what I've gathered on it, the Great Lakes Water Authority has been testing things, haven't found anything that is out of whack for that. From my knowledge, there are 2 intake points off the river for the water supply, one of which is just north of where the dock collapsed, so it wouldn't have been able to gone in there, and then the other one is actually on the Canadian side, and that is, I don't know what the technical term is, but outside of their general flow pattern, so that they were as optimistic as one can be given the circumstances, but they haven't found any sort of variance as cause for concern, and I think that that'll be continued to be monitored for sure. I was going to ask, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask Mr. Church for an update on the Riverside Hospital site. Just because I'm sitting on this side of you now doesn't mean you're getting out of it.
Oh, certainly. Continue to be involved in litigation with that. We have another motion hearing at Wayne County Circuit Court this Friday morning. It's still under the control of a court-appointed receiver. We've had 3 different environmental firms have been out doing an assessment of the facility. And it's really not an environmental assessment as much as it is an assessment of what it would take to do an environmental assessment. The motion hearing this Friday should provide a lot of insight or direction, hopefully, on where we're going to be going from here.
Great. And then with that, Bill, I apologize.
Yeah. It seems like, and don't take this personal, okay, but it seems like we're not moving very fast. Every time we get a report, it sounds like what's going to happen the next 7 to 10 days, and it never happens, okay? I mean, is he that good at postponing all these things, or are we that bad?
I would definitely not say we're that bad. I would not reflect on the courts of that. A lot of these are a matter of when a motion is filed, of when is that motion hearing going to be held. Please understand, I'm limited in what I can report.
Okay,
I'm pleased with where we are in the progress. I wish it was months or years ago, but I'm pleased with the direction it appears to be going. And I'm hopeful that one day soon I'll be able to share in a whole lot more less cryptic detail, but I can't show our hands publicly.
In your opinion, we are making progress?
We are making progress. I absolutely believe that. And through discussions through the court-appointed receiver's office and just dialogue in the courtroom, I'm absolutely pleased with the progress that we've been seeing recently.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Does anyone else have questions related to that? Might as well. And then same with the McLeod site, particularly the notice of violation that was sent. Can you give an update on that as well, Mr. Church?
Based on the limited information we've received, which really amounts to just communication of the notice of violation, we're first notified by MSC Land that an investigation was underway. They were also the first to notify us that a notice of violation was issued. The only other word we have received on anything is through the EPA and Brian Kelly. Brian has been, as is always the case, has been very good about communicating in a very prompt manner. To date, the mayor's office, city administration, has never been contacted by anyone at any level of Eagle. And that was November 6th was the alleged violation.
Correct. And so I guess, has there been anything since then?
I believe Councilwoman Pate mentioned at the last meeting, we're pleased and comforted that the air quality reports that were shared indicate there were no exceedances or violations as far as asbestos in the air or any of the tested contaminants. So it appears that the notice of violation did not have any substantive violations of any harmful releases.
And because it was exclusively for just having dust, correct? The visible, or not, I don't know if dust is the proper word, but
that's my
Steve,
understanding.
yeah, okay.
Yes, is that there was a visible dust cloud.
Okay.
is my understanding. But again, we've had no direct communication or the Eagle has yet to inform us. If it weren't for the EPA notifying us or the landowner, we would not know of it.
Sure, yeah, I haven't received anything from Eagle since, or before for a while. That's beside the point. So thank you for that. I guess the last thing I wanted to say too, since we likely won't have a regular meeting before then, is I hope everyone has a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year too. So now we'll move on to the rest of council here, and I know I started with Councilwoman Bon Crooks last time, so we will begin with Councilman Benedetti.
First off, I'd like to tell Chief Creech and Director what a great job the guys did yesterday with Santa at the fire station. I know it was at the fire station, but the patrolmen were out there, the kids were looking at the cars. They did it as a group effort, and I thought that was cool. The place was packed. I couldn't believe how crowded it was and how fast it got that way. So it's a great thing that they do every year, and I know the people love it because they're not being rushed. There's somebody taking pictures. You can take your time, and the kids can spend as much time as they want there. And I know a lot of people were talking about how happy they were. And the Santa they had is pretty cool, so that was awesome. Only other thing is Merry Christmas to everybody. Like Steven said, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And hopefully we'll get things moving here and going.
Thank you very much, Rick. Councilman LaFever.
Not much tonight, just want to congratulate Steve on his first, 16 days? It's been 16 days?
Time flies when you're having fun.
Or 5.
Was it?
Anyway, he's done a great job. Everybody should rest assured. The council has all of our hopes in his basket. We feel very confident the way he started off. So I just want to congratulate you on that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And also, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. But I don't think it'll be the last meeting we have this year. That's just my opinion.
Sure.
Okay. And one more thing I wanted to clarify. Okay, I owe the chief an apology. Okay, is the last week when he got all excited about his dog deal. Okay, and how he's going to go out and raise money for it. And when he brought up that deal about raising money for it and giving the excess to the city of Riverview, I got some phone calls at home. I thought about it. I can't go for that. I can't raise money for one cause and have somebody else give it to somebody else. That's against all my beliefs. Okay, so if that's truly the way it's going to be, I'll be opposing it.
Sure, and I don't know, is Director Voss here? Oh, yeah, you weren't in uniform there, threw me off there. I don't know if you wanted to, because I don't think that that's something that has gone up, but Director Voss, I don't know if you wanted to, because I'm not sure where we're at in the exact progress there.
Yeah, sure, I can. Well, good evening first, Mayor and Council. Sure, I can address that. Yeah, there was some concern, I guess, that some people had thought that maybe if we received more money than what we needed, it might go to different funds or some other area. That is not going to. That will not be the case. I can guarantee you that. Anything that is collected towards the memorial canine will go to that canine. And like I say, this is it's an expensive proposition, the canines. I mean, they really are, and it's an ongoing thing too. So it's not like this one-time purchase and a training. It continues on. It's the care of the dog, the food for the dog. So I just want to make that clear. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I think it does.
Okay.
Thank you. That's just how I feel. Okay, I mean, do what they think, but that's how I feel.
Sure. No, 100% agree. Do you have anything else?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Councilman LaFever. Councilman Peruggi.
Yes, I have nothing other than to wish everybody a happy holidays and enjoy your family.
Thank you very much. You too. Councilwoman Pape.
Good evening. I just wanted to remind people to shop Trenton. We've got lots of new businesses and old businesses that would love your support, whether that be a gift or maybe even a gift certificate that you can pass on. And then just enjoy the holidays and hope you have a Happy New Year as well.
Thank you very much. Councilwoman Bon Crooks.
Yeah, just one thing. I know at the end of November, our Economic Development Director's position, his contract was expired at the end of November. But I'd like to refer to a study session to continue on that position and see how the council feels and what we can do. Are you prepared to do that in the next study session, or?
Sure, yeah, so
Okay.
did you have dates in mind or anything? I just want to make sure it's someone when you're in town, Bill, and
Yeah,
all
for
that.
our next study session, that would be good, because I know he's probably wondering, is he continuing on and
Sure.
how much and whatever, but I've always been a big advocate of that position because of all the things that Mr. Wagner has done in the community, and we've gotten a lot of grants and a lot of things that we would not have, captured if it wasn't for him, and he's very connected with the business people, and I think he's made a lot of things happen in Trenton, so I'd like to continue on and just to discuss that position and also a salary.
Okay. Yeah, that's certainly fine by me. Maybe we can do that, I mean, if it's a little,
When you're done,
yeah, so maybe we can do that either, if we do end up scheduling another council meeting between now and the new year, we could do it
Yeah.
either before or
I
after
think we need
that.
to schedule a study session before the end of the year, really.
Okay, is everyone around next Monday?
No.
Okay.
Monday.
When do you leave? When do you-
Later this week.
Okay, yes, that's fair. I'll let you go, Bill, and I'll think on that for a second.
along the same lines, that the lobbyist is connected to him too. So if we're going to do the lobbyist, we should, tie him into, with the other position
Yeah.
too.
Sure.
Good idea.
It
Sure.
would make sense to have the lobbyist, not have a director.
Okay, yeah, no, I agree. So I guess, yeah, given so that we're able to be here, Councilman Perugia, go ahead.
That's fine. I may suggest that if we're going to have this discussion, that he comes prepared to show what he's actually done for the city, so we can make a very conscious decision on whether we approve or not approve that expenditure.
Sure.
And same thing with the lobbyist.
Yep, no, I think that makes 100% sense on both fronts, absolutely. So I'm trying to pull up the calendar here. Maybe we can are you okay with saying that at a future study session, and we can try and schedule it not right here? So,
Right.
so not everyone knows
Whatever's good and
who's out of.
agreeable
Yeah.
is fine.
Okay. So yeah, we'll do that at the next study session. We'll hopefully expedite that as well. Did you have anything else? Jim?
Just Merry Christmas and have a healthy, Happy New Year. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Next up are elected officials. Madam Clerk, do you have anything for us this evening?
I'd like to just mention, there will be a study session immediately following this meeting this evening, and that's regarding the council vacancy. City Hall will be closed on December 24th, December 25th, the 31st, and January 1st, and the next regular council meeting is Monday, January 13th at 7 PM.
Great, thank you very much. Mr. Assessor, do you have anything?
I don't think, Honorable Mayor, I do not. Just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Great, thank you very much. Mr. McCullough, Treasurer.
My thunder, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. See you all on the other side.
Great, thank you very much. All righty. Yes. We have different holiday plans, I guess, but, so we'll, any department heads?
Thank you. I'd just like to remind our residents that this Sunday, December 22nd, we'll have our Skate with Santa and skating exhibition at the Kennedy Recreation Center. The skating exhibition is from noon until 2, and then Skate with Santa from 2 until 4. Admission is a non-perishable food item, so you can bring one of the something to donate for your admission. And then also the annual City Awards Banquet will be held on January 18th at Chateau on the River. Doors open at 6, dinner at 7. The presentations begin at 8. Tickets are $35, and they are available at our office at the Kennedy Recreation Center. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other department heads wishing to speak? All righty. With that, we'll move on to public comment here. Any member of the public wishing to speak, please state your name and address. Direct all questions through me, and your comments will be limited to 5 minutes, and I'm very excited, Bill, that I'm going to get to use this timer.
William Jasmine, 2655 Long Meadow Drive. And I just have a few things I want to update people on. First of all, with Trenton Rotary, our Salvation Army Drive raised almost $30,000 this weekend. manning the kettles in southern downriver all over. Very successful, beat our last year's by $11,000.
Awesome.
So you can tell the economy is healthy and that help for the poor is on its way. Another great thing was our wild game dinner that was held on the 6th of December with Lance Parrish. That raised $13,000 for the Trenton Rotary Scholarship Fund, and also our support for veterans, and a check for $3,000 was given for Downriver for veterans. So those are some pretty cool things that happened on the Rotary front. With the Open Book Theater, Miss Pembroke at Pemberley broke all box office records. 1,025 attendees of that play. First show to break 1,000 sales in tickets, so it was a great show. Hope everybody got a chance to go out and see it. If you want to go see a play, let me know. I can get you a free voucher for 2. Because I'm a board member of that organization. And last but not least, all the memorials that were that came in for Kyle, we have raised thousands of dollars for the Goodfellows, thousands of dollars for scholarships. I think we're going to have at least 3 additional scholarships for the Trenton Rotary Club this year, so in Kyle's memory. So, and also there was a contribution that came in for the animal shelter. There's contributions coming in for all kinds of things off of this. So that's been kind of an overwhelming part of this whole thing about Kyle. And the other big thank you I have is for all the men from the fire department and the police that served on the honor guards, both here at City Hall, at Martinson's Funeral Home, and at the church for Kyle's funeral. I am so proud of all those young men from all 5 communities that helped with that whole process of handling the public and managing that whole memorial. It was a daunting task for them, and I'm so proud of each and one of those gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bill. You didn't even get to use all your time. Anyone else from the public? Eric.
Eric French, 1559 Tall Tree. Just heard about the possible renovations at Affolter Park on the tennis courts. I would make a suggestion that you consider pickleball courts. Okay, I know that both Woodhaven and Wyandotte have dedicated pickleball courts, and they're usually pretty well used, so something to consider in the planning.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Dr. Doyle.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the City Council. Again, I'm Dr. Doyle. I'm Community Liaison Director for the Trenton Public Schools. And again, as I've said before, this is certainly a very exciting time to be part of the Trenton Public Schools. We continue to move forward in several areas, including our 2018 bond. The current construction you see on the west side of Anderson and Headkey will be a new music, caf, and gym area, and those are on schedule to be completed, and that should be done in January. The old gyms at both of those schools will be reconfigured into maker spaces / media centers, and once we get everybody moved into the new area, we'll start working on the old area to reconfigure it. The next phase of construction that you'll see throughout the district will be at the high school. And of course, we always say weather permitting, because we all live in Michigan and we know what that can be like. In fact, we're moving forward with the high school. The district was working on the bid process tonight. For the middle school, just real quick, one thing that will be happening with the bond work, we will be building a STEM room. That's a science, technology, engineering, and math room. And work will also be done in the middle school. And then to mention some of the academics that are going on at the schools throughout the district, K through 12, we're working on MTSS, and MTSS stands for Multiple Tiered Systems of Supports. That's where we provide support and interventions for all students throughout the Trenton schools. And I'd also like to invite all of you to the Trenton High School Solstice Music Concert. That will be held in the Dennis J. Hamilton Auditorium on Wednesday, December 18th at 7 p.m. Mr. Kurilko has some really exciting ideas of what he's going to do with the music program. He's going to combine the choir and the band for some of the songs, so that'll be great. And again, finally, information, look at our website. We have a whole section dedicated to 2018 bond. We put weekly updates up there from McCarthy and Smith, which is our contractor. And again, if you ever have any questions, please email me, Doyle M. at Trenton Schools, or give me a call at 734-676-8600. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Doyle. Any other members of the public wishing to address the council? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Support.
Moved and supported. Any further discussion? Seeing none, unanimously so ordered.
You can meet upstairs or down here? Or-